Well, I guess it ain't for lack of trying. And I wouldn't say I'm a liar, but I'm still here because well, snows melt, spring's come. I got that. This whole change concept is bothering me because I'm getting urged to, you got to evolve and adapt. Of course, I've been preaching that to myself. Yet all I do is chirp this about that, and whatever. Work's done, man. Work's done. Everything that I thought I was gonna do for myself, it's not gonna happen at all. But the person that I am is nothing like the man that I was. So I'm starting over again and 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 again. I'm coming to terms with I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. My strives in life have nothing to do with what a normal person's concept of success would be anymore. It's quite literally it's spiritual, and it's beyond language to explain to people anymore. There's a state, I don't know, speaking with another friend of it, where we both acknowledge it. It's You cannot have the kind of conversation that you would have with a person when the spiritual energy is right there in the room compared to over the internet or on a phone call. There's a disconnect, and we have been slowly losing our sense of who the fuck we are because this is how people talk now. And it's great, you can get people pumped up over the phones and stuff like that, but there's all sorts of coercive weird shit out there. I don't want to make this one of these weird scary movies. I want to bring it back to movies, moments. Pardon me. That's how I look at life. Life is, to me, is it's we stack our narrative versus what society has as the norm. So if the old world, well, it's still the old world, right? Fear, control, fucking these guys, those guys, pick a side of what that dumb shit, and then what you believe, right? You come up to the group, one little guy, and there's an individual in society's like, oh, you gotta bend over to fit with us. Fuck that. I'm standing apart and I'm stay apart. I don't care if it gets me anywhere or nowhere. I talked with a friend last night, and I'm gonna level with myself. It was great. It was great, but he did a really good job of explaining about mirroring. And I saw when he was maybe, what's the word, overzealous and revved up, and I saw that myself. So I know he did it to teach me, but I also know how powerful it was making that connection, because it was about going to the uncomfortable and the leery and the suspicious. And he's got this incredibly boisterous and wonderful personality, and he's got so much confidence, and like he's like thunder in a can. It's amazing. The guy's amazing. But you know, he's running his own show now. I like it. This ain't a competition where two of us are going to be jockeying for position and trying to whatever. I hope that we can spend a journey together. I could sit passenger in his road on his road trip for a week if it's necessary. I don't mind doing that. I'm not I'm not I'm not putting myself behind or anything like that, but I realize that all my dreams and everything like that, maybe he's better for it than I am. Maybe I can just go and do what I wanted to do. So I got nothing. I got no money. Well, 20 bucks, quarter tank of gas, trying to figure something out. Work fell through. Blah, blah, blah. Poor me, whatever. It's been so long, and I still just haven't gone around to anything. I know. You know, I know. We know. But I got change. I got confidence. And I got this sheer fucking indomitable will to keep going, knowing that all this suffering that I've been through in one way or another, it paid off last night when I had a conversation with a man, and I was like, hey, wait a second. You, you steal my thunder. Where's my spotlight? Nope, that's what the old me would have said. Now I went, fucking hard work done. Because I've got nothing, and I'm moving on to another blank square, another foundation. I fucking just mud. Okay? But guess what? When I look behind me, I see a pillar of strength doing his own thing, talking his own narrative, speaking his own fucking truth, and empowering everyone around him, despite all odds, despite this stigma attached to lifestyle and independence. And you know what? He's learned to show his scars as like badges of honor. And that's what I've got. I got nothing in my pockets, but I still got a pair of boots, and I got a fucking leader to look at, knowing that wherever I go, I might not have a goddamn thing at the end of it, but someone else will. That, ladies and gentlemen, is evolution. That is change. That is the strive forward in life that we all need. I'm okay with being on this network that I don't have any control of. And as far as I understand it, the ones that got me in their bird cage, they take everything that I say, do their extra science shit, and it gets out there to influencers and world leaders and fucking nations and businesses. Like I'm like, my friend last night said, dude, I'm a golden egg. That makes me the fucking goose. All right. So I just need to keep walking, keep eating, and keep pushing these wings on this cocoon that I've been put in, because one day I will stretch out and fly away. But I'll just get a look of the yard, and I'll come right back to that tree with the very same branch, the cocoon that I hatched from. It's been painful, and it's been hard to explain to people. I've psychically, spiritually, and intellectually been through a tremendous amount of, well, even at this point I could still call it torment and manipulation. But it's the only way. It's the only way to be the best version of yourself, is to get smashed into fucking pieces by nefarious or omnipotence or like weird forces, things beyond your understanding. And if you endure, the reward is up to you. And so far I'm still here, so I'm enduring. So it's cold, shitty, but you know what? The days just start. I wish my mom happy birthday, and then I'm gonna find myself a toque and go on a walk until I see the sun. What has changed to a lot of people? It's moving somewhere else. It's finding someone to conform with. It's finding someone to follow you. It's being in a different setting to trick yourself into thinking that you're actually making change because the scenery's different. No. My change is actually staying the fucking same and making sure that everywhere I go, someone stands up for everything that they believe in. So when I go on with nothing except a backpack to my name, I can look back one day and know there's leaders. My foundation is a proving ground. The infrastructure that it builds is people's morality. Because, well, I have called bullshit on God out loud, and there's a few of us doing it now. And he's enjoying it. He's been bored. And I'm lying saying that, because I don't have 40 minutes to explain what I think is the truth right now, right? But yeah, let it be known that there's God, and then sometimes I just say God to, skip about 10 paragraphs. Why do I do that? I think I do it because I'm at a crossroads. I've given a few friends some rough copies of this book that I mentioned that I was going to distribute. But I've also considered that it is considered hazardous information, and in the wrong hands, with the wrong concepts, there could possibly be people out there so afraid of change that they would be willing to go to war and put this world in a state of chaos simply to deny us our opportunity for evolution. So I know the rough cut copy of this first book that I wrote is already out there, but I am considering finding the right person in my life, or the right company in my life, who would be willing to edit it for the sake of public safety and concern, so long as the first few pages are a cover page or cover letter saying that the author refused to edit because he's got this weird truth complex, and we agreed a compromise in the writing. It's not far from the truth, and here's his signature on that, yada yada yada. So I could still get this book published worldwide and maybe make money from it, and that's a shortcut because I'm being lazy. But what I would do with that money is exactly what I've always wanted to do, and that would be to help the people that fucking deserve it. It's not to buy some house on the hills, right? And that's where I'm at. I'm still at this wonderful place I've been given to reside, and it was forced isolation by spiritual mentors. They have power and influence, and through a laundry list of weird fucking scenarios, my 2 week stay for a little bit of quiet time has turned into a over 3 month isolation. I wouldn't say experiment, but I am on the forefront. So yeah, it's been an isolation chamber, because through overcoming all sorts of terrible things like depression, anxiety, phobias, resentment, yada 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 yada. But if a person can get through all of that ugly, like broken, defeated man concept bullshit, and they come out through it alone, without any outside influence, without any spiritual interaction, when they do rise up and when they do step forward, there is a strength that no man or woman or angel or fucking alien, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not trying to point it all out, but there's nothing more powerful and pure than to self-heal. There's more in me than I ever imagined possible. And I'm tired of trying to talk to people on this fucking level, because it's their job to be ignorant fucking apes about it and see if I'll crack and go back and fall into some bullshit narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, and extraterrestrials and other weird people that are watching, I am here to steer the ship. I am exploring the infinite. I'm holding the candle in the darkness. I am taking point in the void by staying behind in my duties of life. That came out wrong. But my duty in life is to stay behind timelessness. As above, so below. The ceiling becomes the floor. I'm ahead, but I'm behind. We'll get to that another day. This is an awkward video. I haven't gone for my walk. I don't feel justified. I just wanted to talk before maybe I lost a thought, because there are thousands that run through my head and gone before I get a chance to grab a pen. There's something different about my mind. I didn't know how literal and serious it was when I volunteered to be a conduit of the collective will of all the woken on this planet who want to reach the gate. I surrendered my sense of self, and I said I would become powerful as a conduit. Those are really big shoes to fill, and I apologize that I've been evolving slower than some would think or hope for, but I am really glad that it's gone the way it has, because this grit and mud and resistance and bullshit, well, now I just look at it as, curled hair on the mustache. It's part of life. It's part of life. Life teaches you every day. You always get another chance. Every day you wake up is another chance, right? That's your do-over. Tomorrow. I'm tired of pretending, and I'll be doing it less and less and less until I simply don't. And I know that the work is done, because there's another man who is just as fucking voracious as I am. And whether or not I agree entirely with who he is, I do agree entirely with what he stands for. He is self-made, and he is what this whole fucking thing is about. So I might stand here before you, ladies and gentlemen, a month or so of making videos, still with no tangible, physical, seeable progress, but it's there. And I felt it with a conversation that I wasn't leading, I wasn't in control of, and it feels great. Nobody can take your power from you if you give it away freely. Have a great day. I'm sorry I'm not smiling, but I'm fighting the world so that our children don't have to. That's what we're all doing. Don't ever forget who you are. Love will dissolve fear, okay? Just find the love when it's terrible, and you'll make it. Look how grumpy I am, but I'm still here. Well, how grumpy I look. I'm going to come back better. Good walk. Always get in nature if you can. Blah, 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 blah. Bye.